Now, the interview on Thai PBS World tonight, among Nordic countries, probably Sweden is the only country which hasn't imposed compulsory national lockdown. So far, how has the country coped with the situation of COVID-19? Thai PBS World tonight talked to Ambassador of Sweden to Thailand. Ambassador, I just introduced that Sweden still hasn't introduced any lockdown at all. Is that true?
Although there's no full lockdown in force in Sweden, many parts of the Swedish society have shut down. I mean, I talk to my two daughters very often, and they have been working from home for several weeks, and I think that's something we see quite often. But the Swedish measures differ from some other countries fundamentally in two regards. First, because we are not shutting down schools for younger children or children's care facilities. And secondly, we have no regulation that forces citizens to remain in their homes. This is based on a tradition of using recommendations in public health efforts that we have followed for a long time in Sweden. And we have seen that it works, for instance, in vaccinations, and that's to a large extent because there's a high level of trust in the Swedish society. But basically, we are facing the same challenges as many other countries. We share the same goal as all other countries to save lives and protect public health. And we are using similar tools as most countries, promoting social distancing, protecting vulnerable people, carrying out testing, and reinforcing our health system so that we can cope with the pandemic.
So in short, Sweden is not enforcing mandatory rules so far, in short.
There are several mandatory rules. For instance, there is a total ban of visit to elderly care homes. There is a ban of meetings more than 50 people. But the major difference that I mentioned, no regulation that forces citizens to remain in their homes. And we are not shutting down schools for children up to 15 years. And there are a couple of reasons for this. I mean, if you have a very drastic and legally binding lockdown everywhere, it is quite difficult to do that long term. We see that kind of discussion already now taking off in several countries. And secondly, the decisions taken by our government are based on advice from our expert agencies. And when it comes to school closure, they haven't recommended school closures for these younger children, partly because almost 40% of all healthcare staff would have to leave work if schools were to close. And we need those healthcare workers, and we need then to create conditions for them to be able to serve the people that are ill.
That means Sweden has relied a lot on people's decision on social distancing and work from home. And that's all from Thai PBS World tonight.